Hello, everyone, and welcome to another review here on Big Gold Belt Media. I am Damien G, otherwise known as the animated cartoon guy of the group, and I was tasked with watching and screening Injustice. It is basically a elsewhere story regarding the Justice League, and basically to sum it up really easy, what if Superman went bad? What if half the Justice League went not rogue, but what if they just decided to take the law into their own hands? And I know there's been a game, I know there's a graphic novel, but I strictly am going to talk about the film. So I don't want to hear people saying, hey, well, this wasn't like this and this was more like that. I'm going in blind while watching this film to just stick to the film. I know it is adapted from the video game of the same name and to be followed up from the actual comic line or the graphic story arc. I get all that. But while watching this film, one of the first things, because again, I'm going in blind even though I know the synopsis, is the body count. Lo and behold, within the first 4 minutes of this movie, I yelped an F-bomb, OMG, a yo, within the first 4 minutes of this movie. And then within the first 9 minutes after that, there were a whole bunch of DC hero deaths in that time period that had me thinking, oh, they're taking no prisoners in this movie. And it's not even so much that they died. It was in the method that a lot of them died and how you really think about it. And just me watching this movie twice. I watched it once for my viewing pleasure and another time for this review. And I'm just going to keep it to the basics. Like I said I'm going to just go in blind. And I will tell you this, as I watch this movie, as a person, mild spoilers here, y'all, as a person who works with those who are grieving, the grief on both sides of this civil war, as it were, was palpable. The reasons on both sides was palpable, was understandable. You have Superman's side. Like I said, this is going to be minor spoilers if you haven't watched the movie or you don't know the series. Superman basically versus Batman's side. One side wants to uphold the law. One side thinks, to quote Judge Dredd, he is the law. And I want to say I understood both sides of the coin. If you want to call me Two-Face, that's just fine. But as I watched this movie and I saw the psychological breakdowns on both sides and people's reasonings for joining each side and each side's modus operandi, where Superman wants to make the world universally peaceful, where no harm can come to the innocent, where Batman says, that's all fine and dandy, but your way's wrong. It goes against everything the Justice League ever stood for. And as I'm watching this film, I'm basically saying, on one hand, damn, I can see where Batman's coming from. On the other hand, damn, I could see where Superman's coming from. And they're villains. Yes, there are villains on both sides. If you want to call somebody the bad guy, neither of these teams is exempt from being the bad guy, air quotes, or the good guy. This is deeper than, let's say, Marvel's Civil War. This is not about a registration act. This is about, no, straight up, no evil should exist, and it's going to be under my watch and my regime. Whereas on Batman's side, it's no, this is not how we do things here. We have to operate within the parameters. And Superman's side is saying, shit, we are the parameters. We are the parameters. We're making the parameters. We are heroes. We are above all. And that's where I start to lose my understanding and empathy for Superman's side, psychologically speaking, where he does put himself above all as this movie goes on. You see the decay of a man, a Superman as it were, into what would you do, into madness, into staunch hardness, into just stubbornness to the nth degree, my way or the highway. And there's other little wrinkles to this movie. There were some people, like just characters I couldn't stand, and that's a good thing as well as a bad thing. If you follow my reviews here on Big Gold Belt Media, I tend to just not play both sides. I tend to focus on both sides. of the coin, like I said earlier. And for me, some of the things I really enjoyed about this was the voice cast. I was a little sheepish going into and thinking, well, this isn't my DC animated universe. This isn't my Justice League. This isn't what I'm used to. Where's Kevin Conroy? Where's Tim Daly as Superman? You know what I mean? Where are my favorites? Where's Michael Rosenbaum as the Flash? And if you watch the movie, sorry, Flash, you went out like a punk, but served its purpose. And just as the way this broke down and all these characters and actors, and you could tell they really got into the role. I'll say Justin Hartley really surprised me as Superman. He was able to convey the honor, especially in the early parts of the film, as Superman, and then to chronicle the fall into madness as he became this totalitarian Superman. Was kind of interesting to watch transpire and very well vocalized. Anson Mount, you're not Kevin Conroy. He's not Kevin Conroy. He's not supposed to be. But I would say his performance as Batman was a little flat. And I know Batman's supposed to be brooding, but the way, I don't know, his performance was almost one note. Maybe I don't understand Batman, even though I'm wearing a Batman shirt right now, as deeply as I should. But it was just a little one note. But I will say some of the vocal MVPs on this one and characters on this one. The Joker was amazing. The Joker was badass. And if you know the Joker, we're all about Mark Hamill here. We all stand Mark Hamill. But Kevin Pollak, who's a veteran character actor, who he's that guy, I know him from somewhere, who just also happens to be a really good actor, portrayed the Joker in a way where he tap danced on lunacy with making sense. If you go back and watch Joker's parts in this film, why he did it, even though he tells Batman in the film, you really need reasons from me, and proceeds to tell him his reasons. And the reasons make sense, because the Joker references the back and forth dance him and Batman go through, and what throwing this new little wrinkle into his plan kind of did. I thought that was well acted. I thought his monologue at the beginning of the film was beautiful. Again, within the first 10 minutes, a lot of people bit the dust. Within the first half of this movie, the way some people died was just surprising. Another person that I want to call out for being an MVP of this movie overall was the character of Plastic Man. As a guy who grew up with the Plastic Man cartoon, and it was brought back on the Cartoon Network from what I remember. Oliver Hudson. I remember Oliver Hudson strictly from Rules of Engagement, but I don't recall him from other shows. I believe that's where I know him from. But his Plastic Man, let me tell you, was witty, was sarcastic. And, Plastic Man's that dude. Plastic Man's that guy that, I look like an idiot, but I also used to be a criminal. And he brings up something in the course of the movie about the totalitarianism of Superman and about giving second chances, the value of a second chance. And how he stated in the movie that he needed 4 chances, 5 chances to turn his life around. And he plays a really integral part in the last third of the movie. I thought he was a really great character to get behind. He was funny, he was poignant, and I loved every second of it. Gillian Jacobs as Harley Quinn, not Tara Strong, but you could have fooled me, to be quite honest. She was annoying, she was a loon, which, Harley Quinn incarnate. Almost tiptoed past the line of, I can't stand you. Again, not Tara Strong, not I forget the voice actors from the Harley Quinn show, the girl from Big Bang Theory, Kelly Cuoco. There we go. Not that, but a different take on it. It was almost as if she played the annoying little sister to Green Arrow throughout most of the film. I thought that she was a really good, really staunch person to have. Someone at the end of the film, middle to the end of the film, that I really liked and I would love to see more of as a character, because we saw bits and pieces of him in the original Justice League Unlimited show, and that is sorry, Mr. Terrific. I was going to call him Mr. Fantastic. My apologies. Mr. Terrific. Now, I don't really know the character that well, but over the course of this movie, his dynamic with Plastic Man and with Superman shows that, as they said in the movie, he literally is one of the top 3 smartest people in the world, pretty much in that universe. And I enjoyed Edwin Hodges' performance of Mr. Terrific. I wish I could have had a little bit more of him in this. And then, one of the downsides, as I transition past that, one of the downsides of a movie like this is that there's too much to shoehorn in. You only have like a 90-minute runtime, and you have to shoehorn a lot of things into this kind of movie where it's an ensemble cast. You have your Batmans, your Supermans, but and your Wonder Womans, but you also have Green Lantern for a spell. You have Cyborg, you have Green Arrow. He's another one. Man, you have Catwoman, who plays basically Batman's conscience. Nightwing took a random turn in this film, as well as Robin, Damian Wayne, and even Ra's al Ghul. Just having all these characters, and you're trying to immerse them all. So I'm gonna go down, really quick here on IMDb. We got Superman, Batman, Lois Lane, Damian Wayne, Green Lantern, Cyborg, Mirror Master, Mr. Terrific, Plastic Man, Harley Quinn, The Flash, Shazam, played by Yuri Lowenthal. Shout out to him, one of the most prolific voice actors of my youth. Aquaman, Nightwing, Joker, Catwoman, Green Arrow, Victor Zsasz, Ra's al Ghul, Captain Atom, and Wonder Woman. And you have to shoehorn all these people into the story, because even Victor Zsasz, for about 5 minutes, plays an integral part in this movie as we get Superman going down the well of decay, as it were. Things I didn't enjoy. The animation was spotty in certain parts. It was well done. And maybe just me, they didn't do a good job of maybe in the script establishing how much time passes within each stanza, because I will say this. The transition from the first 20 minutes, 15 minutes of the film to the middle 20 minutes, Superman has a beard out of nowhere. And then out of nowhere, it disappears in like the next shot. And you don't see it for the rest of the movie. So that was something that kind of caught me off guard. The way Batman was animated, in my estimation, a little too glib, a little too meh-faced. Like I said, in parts, it was hit or miss with the animation. It was, in a lot of parts, crisp. Battle scenes were good. Again, voice performances were overall across the board solid, if not really good. And the story arc, again, as you go down the story arc, and you see this war between Batman's faction and Superman's faction, and it hits home. It does what it needs to do. Is there sometimes too much going on at one time? A little bit. There's even a bit of a filler arc, in my opinion. Again, I'm just going off the film, not according to the graphic novel or the comic, where there's an Amazo part there in Smallville. The Ra's al Ghul aspect was necessary in some parts. I know I've played the video game, and Sinestro, kind of plays that devil on the shoulder that Ra's al Ghul was portraying in the film. But it was an overall decent movie. I'm not going to call it great, the best I've ever seen, but I will say my high points was the body count of death in this movie. Holy crap, there were deaths that happened that came out of nowhere, like an RKO, that I didn't expect to happen, and thusly, here we were. The voice performances, the vocal performances were top-notch, in my opinion. Everybody hit the notes that they needed to hit, again, with the exception of Anson Mount's Batman, at least for my taste. Everybody else was solid in their roles, and I felt like I was watching a comic book movie, which I think overall was what needed to happen. But like I said, my major MVPs in this movie, for me personally, just personally, I enjoyed Superman's decay into madness. Loved that. Wonder Woman pissed me off, and I think it was designed to piss me off because she functioned as a devil on the shoulder until the end of the movie. And like I started getting irked at her after a while, especially, while Superman or Clark or Kal-El is going through what he needs to go through. It's almost as if she tried to take advantage of the situation, and it left a really weird Wonder Woman feeling in my body, as if to say that's not her. I don't know why the writers chose to do that with her character in particular. And I know I've seen that also in the DC animated universe, with the Justice League War films, the Flashpoint Paradox. She's all warrior all the time, so to speak. Again, Mr. Terrific, I would love to have seen more of. I enjoyed his verbal sparrings with Superman as well as Plastic Man. And my number one MVP of this film, for me, that deserved all the love and admiration when you get past the main cast, was Plastic Man. Because holy crap, Oliver Hudson playing Plastic Man. You get an A++, my friend. That was amazing. But what did you guys think of this movie overall? I'm going to give this a rating, I'll give it a B+. I don't really like to do that because I'm not the kind of guy, but B+. I'm looking forward to see where they go from here, or if this is just going to be a standalone, which I honestly think. Again, there's random cameos in this film. At the end specifically, people from different universes popping up. Holy crap, didn't expect that. But at the same time, I want to know what you guys think over here on Big Gold Belt Media. I am Damon G. Thank you for watching. And again, I am reviewing or have reviewed Injustice, and I hope you all enjoy. I'll catch you.